Perfection is the enemy of published. And one of the best things that you can do as a first-time author is to write in public instead of perfecting in private. I'm Brian from Hope Writers and Hope Books. Now you are on the writing path. Instead of shooting for perfection, just get your first version. The thing about a first version is you can always make it better later. You can always make it better later. But until you have that first version done, it's just an idea. It's just an idea until you actually do something, until you actually make something. And what I've found is that one of the best things that you can do is just ship your art. Just get your art going, get it done, get the first version out the door, get some user feedback, get some people who are able to listen to it, to watch it, to read it, because until you do that, it's all just a big idea. It's all just a big idea until you've actually shipped something. And so what does that look like as a writer? As a writer, it looks like being okay practicing in public. What does practicing in public mean? It looks like posting on Facebook, I have an idea, and just talking about the idea. Writing your book publicly. Writing your book daily on Facebook. So instead of you working on your chapter manuscript and working on your, intro and all that quietly by yourself on your own, on your Google document, what if you were to share that on Facebook as you wrote, as you went along? Not the perfect version, not the edited version, but the first draft version. What you're going to find is that there will be people who will want to follow along in your journey. I think this is one thing that I would really recommend to our Hope Books authors, is that as they're writing their book, you don't want the first time people in your world read any of your story to be the time that it is locked in a printed book. It's so much kinder and so much more gracious to give people a chance to get to know your story, to get to hear your story, to get to read a story, to get to decide to follow along on your story when you write in public, when you're growing as you're going. You're writing and you're inviting them along on the journey with you. So what does that look like? It looks like deciding to invite people into the process. See, the thing about eventually marketing your book, eventually telling other people about your book, eventually launching your book, is that you want to build anticipation. You want people to say, oh, I've seen you working on that. Like, I know that's been something that you've been doing for a long time. Oh, it's finally out. Oh my goodness. People support what they help create. You want to give them an opportunity to support you. And the way to give them an opportunity to support you is to help them, to allow them to create with you. Allow them to be part of the journey. And the way to do that is to practice in public, to regularly write in a place where people can read, to regularly talk about your story in a place where people can engage. And by allowing them to engage in what you're doing, by allowing them to engage in the process, what's going to happen is you're going to start to develop some champions. Some people who are championing your message. Some people who are excited about the book that you're writing. Some people who are saying, what you're writing about is what I need to read about. And so it's actually benefiting you because you're building your muscles of posting and writing, but you're also building your audience. You're building your supporters by writing in a place that they can read it. Now, of course, you don't have to use everything that you've written. There are going to be posts that are not perfect. There are going to be posts that have nothing to do with the book. But by shipping before you're ready, you're going to see that it's not so scary. It's not so scary to share your message, because fear, false evidence appearing real, that that idea of all the bad things that could happen is mitigated through exposure. The more you're exposed to that negative thing, the more open you are to, it's not that bad. It's not that big a deal. I've done that so many times before. Giving yourself a chance to develop the thick skin. See, when writers get started, there's a soft heart and a thin skin. Actually, often it's a hard heart and a soft skin. But what we want to do is we want to develop a soft heart and a thick skin. A soft heart is one where we're compassionate on our reader, and a thick skin is one that we're not really affected by our critic. A soft heart and a thick skin. We have a soft heart for our reader and a thick skin for our critic. But the way to develop that soft heart is by seeing the need, by seeing that people absolutely need what we're talking about. And the only way to see that need is to start to meet the need. As you start to meet the need, you'll start to see that there is a need, how great the need is, how big the need is, because you're starting to meet it. And people are saying, I didn't know anyone else experienced that. I didn't know anybody else felt that way. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your message. Thank you for sharing your voice. It's so powerful to have other people be blessed by your story. And so when you write publicly and you share publicly, as you're developing your story, as you're developing your voice, as you're developing your book, you're allowing them the opportunity to be part of the journey. And you're able to bless them as you go, which is really, really powerful. Perfection is the enemy of published. Wanting it to be perfect never makes it better. It only delays the book from actually getting done. This is something I see all the time. And so my recommendation is to write in public, to share in public, to invite people along the journey. And when you do that, what will start to happen is you develop these champions that love what you're saying, they love what you're talking about, and they're going to start asking for it. And before you know it, your book is not for you, your book is for them, because you've been talking to them, you've been serving them, you've been encouraging them, and they want to read your book. And now it's not going to mess with their head so much to actually put it down into a manuscript, because you're going to know who it's for. I hope that encourages you. Instead of making a book perfect privately, you have an opportunity to practice publicly and to grow your champion group so that when your book does come out, you have people who can't wait to read it.